This video is going to help you really understand pronouns, doing andare in the present tense, conjugating, and also 22 useful expressions. Not just giving you the expressions, but actually looking at examples of how to use all of them in sentences. So let's get started to help you build confidence in using andare in the present tense to help your conversation skills. Andare is a verb in the present tense that is irregular. This means it does not follow the exact rules that you might have memorized for ARE verbs. Usually, so about 90% of the time, ARE verbs, meaning verbs that end in ARE, in the present tense will drop the ARE and add on O, I, A times 3, iamo, ate, ano times 2, in the order of the pronouns that is in most books, referencing io, I, tu, you, lui, he, lei, she, lei formal for you, noi, we, voi, you all, and then loro meaning they, and the other loro meaning you all formal. All right, so if you already know pronouns and you knew of what is that normal pattern, then that will give you an idea of what it means for irregular for this verb. So this verb, why is it irregular? So we can see by looking at this list, they are not all starting with AND. I'm supposed to just drop the ARE and have AND plus the patterns that we just talked about, but it doesn't do that. So that means you have to more so memorize it. So here is what it is instead. We have I go, io vado, you go, tu vai, he goes, lui va, she goes, lei va, you go, the politer version or formal version, lei va, we go, noi andiamo. Fun fact, andiamo just by itself could also mean let's go in a different verb tense. You all go, voi andate, they go, loro vanno, and you all formal version go is also loro vanno. You may have noticed that actually two of the verbs in this conjugation actually do the normal or regular pattern. That was andiamo and andate. But all the other ones, vado, vai, va times 3, and even vanno at the end, they were irregular. So that's why the whole thing is just considered irregular for andare, which means to go. You may have noticed that actually two of the verbs in this conjugation actually do the normal or regular pattern. That was andiamo and andate. But all the other ones, vado, vai, va times 3, and even vanno at the end, they were irregular. So that's why the whole thing is just considered irregular for andare, which means to go. So now we're going to learn 22 useful expressions of how you can use andare in the real life. To go for a walk, andare a piedi. Andare a piedi. Piedi actually means feet. Next one, to go on a boat. Andare in nave. Think of navy, that might help try to connect it with a boat. To go on a boat is andare in nave. To go to the city or in the city, andare in città. Just like ciao, whenever you have a CI, it's going to make a ch sound. So andare in città. To ride on a bike, or really this is saying a bicycle. Technically bike would be bici, but you can see this is bicicletta, which is the longer version. So this is andare in bicicletta. Again, andare in bicicletta. When I was learning stuff like this for the first time, it was a little confusing to just have the chart from the last slide. Andare in blah, blah, blah. How do I actually use that in a sentence? So what you have to do is you have to combine what you learned first of how to conjugate, and then what you just learned in the last slide of bike, city, etc. So here's some real life examples of how to put those two parts together. I go for a walk. Vado, instead of andare, a piedi. So instead of andare a piedi, I have to conjugate the andare part. I've got to change it to whatever pronoun I want to use. So I go for a walk, vado a piedi. You go on a boat. vai in nave. He goes to the city. Va in città. Va in città. She rides on a bike or bicycle. Va in bicicletta. Va in bicicletta. All right, so this is exchanging the first word in all these phrases, which was andare on the last slide, and putting in an actual pronoun with the conjugated verb, which our list was vado, vai, va, 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 andiamo, andate, vanno, vanno. So we're using that list. You might notice I'm actually going nearly in the same order as the conjugated chart just to try to make it a little easier. And now we start again with some more useful expressions. So we just did 4 on the other ones, and then we looked at the examples of how to actually conjugate it and put it into a sentence. Now we're starting again with some new expressions, and then we'll look at some examples again, okay? So this will be the setup for going through about 22 useful expressions. So on to number 5? All right, so 5th useful expression, to go to my house. Andare a casa mia. Now this is one where you can see it saying really house my, so it does do a switch here compared to English equivalents. So to go to my house, andare a casa mia. To go on vacation, andare in vacanza. Andare in vacanza. To go to the park, andare al parco. Andare al parco. Now, if you don't understand the al situation, that's combining the word to and the into one word. Sometimes many words like to, the, in, the, of, the, etc., they'll combine it into one word. So that's what's happening here, just in case you're wondering where did that come from and why is there not as many words as English. Our last one on here is to go to the airport. Andare al. It is spelled differently. It is correct. There's a few different versions of them. So andare al aeroporto. A little bit of a tongue tie. Let's try it again. Andare al aeroporto. All right, great job. That is the 8th expression. Now we're going to look at how to put it with the conjugated verb. So if I said, we go to my house, andiamo a casa mia. Now, fun fact, andiamo, well, it does mean we go. That is correct. But in a different verb tense, it's actually used as an action, action's not the right word, like a command or polite request, meaning let's go. So this could also say, let's go to my house. And I feel like that would be more of a useful expression, more of a way that we'd say it in English. But anyways, either way, so we go to my house or let's go to my house. This is andiamo a casa mia. One more time. Andiamo a casa mia. You all, this is the same as you guys, y'all, go on vacation. Andate in vacanza. Andate in vacanza. Oh, for anybody who's a little bit newer to doing Italian, you might be wondering, why aren't the pronouns in here? Like, why didn't I say noi andiamo a casa mia or voi andate in vacanza? And to be clear, you could totally put that. And it's optional. Generally, pronouns are excluded because none of my other conjugations for andare is going to be andate, for example. Now, the ones that did repeat, like va, va, va for he, she, you formal, it might be helpful to put a pronoun in there. I'm just shortening it so that to just make it a little clearer on these charts, but you could absolutely add it in, especially if you need to clarify something and make it more clear who you're talking about. Next one, they go to the park. Vanno, or loro vanno, al parco. Vanno al parco. And then I go to the airport. Vado al aeroporto. Vado al aeroporto. Useful expression number 9. All right, so this is to go to the movie theaters or movies, cinema, whatever you call it. This in Italian is andare al cinema. It's spelled cinema. You're just pronouncing that C as a ch because whenever you have a CI or CE, then your C has to sound like a ch, just like in ciao. So this is andare al cinema. To go to the countryside, andare in campagna. Let's say it again. Andare in campagna. Nearly looks like camp. To go in a car. Andare in macchina. andare in macchina. To go in a plane, andare in aereo. Andare in aereo. Now putting it into some sentences, I go to the movie theaters or I go to the cinema. Vado al cinema. Vado al cinema. You go to the countryside. Vai in campagna. Vai in campagna. He goes in a car. Va in macchina, or lui va in macchina. She goes in a plane, or on a plane, same thing. Va in aereo, or lei va in aereo, if I want to add that pronoun in, okay? To go by bus, andare in autobus. Andare in autobus. To go boating, andare in barca. Barca means boat, but in this situation it's going to mean boating. Andare in barca. To go by taxi, or to go in a taxi, andare in tassi. Andare in tassi. Sounds a bit like English already. And to go by motorcycle, this is actually the abbreviated version. This says andare in moto. Motorcycle could be motocicletta. So this one is way shorter. Andare in moto. We go by bus. Andiamo in autobus. Andiamo in autobus. You all go boating. Andate in barca. Andate in barca. They go by taxi. Vanno in tassi. Vanno in tassi. I go by motorcycle. Vado in moto. Vado in moto. Useful expression number 17 or 17. To go by train. Andare in treno. Andare in treno. For anyone who knows what in means, in Italian can actually mean a few things. It can mean in, by, to, etc. So in this situation, we're using it to mean by. But do be aware, it does mean a few other things in case you were confused. So this is andare in treno. To go to school. Andare a scuola. Andare a scuola. Not to be confused with squalo, which means a shark. Alright, so this is scuola. To go to the market. Andare al mercato. Andare al mercato. To go on a cruise. Andare in crociera. Andare in crociera. Putting those into sentences, I go by train. Vado, or io vado in treno. You go to school. Vai a scuola. Vai a scuola. He goes to the market. Va, or lui va if you prefer, al mercato. Lui va al mercato. She goes on a cruise. Lei va in crociera, or the shortened way, va in crociera. Congratulations, you've made it to the last page of useful expressions. Now, to be honest, there is actually more andare expressions, sorry, but here are the most useful ones that we've looked at, these 22 expressions, and we're on now the last page, which is number 21 and 22. Great job if you've made it this far. You now know how to really use this verb and feel confident about it. So here we have to go to a store or a shop. That would be the same thing. There's andare al negozio. So that T is really sounding like a TZ. Negozio. All right, let's try the expression again. Andare al negozio. Next one, to go to the shopping centre. Now, centre can be spelled two ways depending on where you live. So centre, the first way on here is showing the American English way. The second way is showing the British English way. Now, the British English way is actually closer to the Italian. If you're looking over at the spelling, look how centre is spelled. Centro, where the only thing we're changing is the last letter. So if you know the British way, it actually makes it easier. If you don't, that's all right. It's close enough, but obviously you can see the British way is closer, which helps a bit. So this says to go to the center commercial, right? That's what it sort of looks like. So this is andare al centro, not centro, or something else. The C sounds like a ch, just like in chow. That's because whenever you got a CI or CE, it sounds like a ch. So this is centro. And then the next word, comer, cha, CIA sound like cha. CHA, it sounds like cha. Le. Let's try that last word. Commerciale. Whole expression, andare al centro commerciale. Don't try saying that a few times. Tongue twister. Now putting it into sentences, we go to a store. Andiamo al negozio. Andiamo al negozio. Or what more so this would be used as is, let's go to the store. Andiamo al negozio. You all go to the shopping center. Andate, or voi andate, if that helps you right now, al centro commerciale. Andate al centro commerciale. And for those who I know you have a competitive edge and you wanted to say the last two words a few times after I said don't do it a few times, let's try it. We have centro commerciale. Centro commerciale. Maybe you said it faster and more. Good for you. Okay, so in this course, we have learned how to use andare, to go, in the present tense, or presente. And this is specifically an irregular verb, so it takes a little bit longer to remember. And that's okay, right? So don't be hard on yourself if it takes a little longer. The most important thing out of this whole video is getting this chart. First, the pronouns in that exact same order, and then the verbs in that exact same order. And try to come out with a song or a little ditty or just something to help you, like vado vai va va va, vado vai va va va. It just helps you try to remember it a little easier and make it a bit more fun and less intimidating. So just a reminder in case you forgot, this chart we have I, io, you, tu, lui, he, lei, she. You formal, lei. You might have noticed I didn't do any examples in formal. That was on purpose. I was just trying to use the more casual ways so that you got comfortable with that first. We, noi, you all, voi, they, loro. You all formal is also loro. And on the chart, I go, vado, you go, vai, sounds like your I. He goes, she formal goes, va, va, va. We go, or let's go, andiamo. You all go, andate. They go, or you all formal go, vanno. And it's irregular because I'm not just dropping the ARE and andare at the top and adding on a specific pattern. These are not all starting with AND. They're starting with V's for most of these. So that's why it's not following the normal pattern. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to message or comment below. Great job, you guys. You really understand this in the present tense now. Good for you. If you loved this video, don't forget to follow us and also check out our bio where we have a link to free lessons and subscribing to information about our lessons. This way you can hear about some upcoming private lessons that you can sign up for and even some group options. Message us to sign up today. Looking for more videos like this? Like and subscribe. And guess what? We also teach private and group Italian lessons through Knowledge Adventures in online sessions. So message us for details if you would like to learn more. Ciao!